So this particular screencast is going to go over your student intervention project. This is your comprehensive project that you will be completing at the end of your semester, final project. This is also a key assessment, and this is the assignment that's going to carry the most points throughout the semester. So let's go ahead and go over your instructions for this particular assignment. I went over, just kind of briefly went over what kind of like the general idea of what's going to happen during your student intervention project, what you'll be completing for your student intervention project. So basically, again, remember, think about a student in your possibly a student that you've had this past school year. Think about a child who you really wish that you could have had a better connection with. You really wish that no matter how hard you tried, you feel like, gosh, I wish I could have made a bigger impact on this child. And so that would be the particular student who you would focus on for this particular project. So there's various sections of your project. The very first thing I'm looking for historical information of you, teacher historical information, your years of teaching experience in general, list at least 5 of your positive personal professional qualities. The next section is going to be your the student historical information. So think about, I would like you to try to include as much information as possible. And so I want you to provide the child's demographics, gender, age, grade, cultural background, etc. List 5 positive qualities about the child. Why did you select this child? Please don't use the child's real name. Use a pseudonym. So this needs to be a minimum of 1 page discussing why you selected this child. A statement of your challenge with your child. What challenged you working with this particular child? It needs to be a minimum of a half page. And the amount of personal contact you typically made with the student. Consider your history with this child, the immediate past academic year only. So, it would be best if you can use the past academic year, just because I think that child and those experiences are just going to be so fresh in your head that you'll be able to discuss it a lot easier. And so this needs to be a minimum of 2 pages. And this is all of the information that's bulleted here to help you guide you through this particular section. Now, the next section is the heart of this lesson. This is going to be your action plan, and this is where you're going to discuss the various strategies that you would use to help this child. And so there's going to be a minimum 1 page for each strategy. So this is going to be extremely comprehensive. And so again, remember I aligned this project with the modules of your the modules in Blackboard. So if you need to go and revisit those modules, I suggest go ahead and do so. So first is going to be that emotional engagement. So think about from chapters 3, 4, and 10, and any other course, any other class materials, discuss 5 strategies that you could have used to help your target student. Discuss how these strategies might relate to family, culture, and community needs. Discuss any differences you would expect to see in the child's behavior, achievement, and environment. How could these strategies have influenced your child, this particular student? Next is going to be from a classroom management perspective, and again, how can these strategies have helped influence your student? What kind of differences would you have expected, what would you have seen in this child's behavior, achievement, and classroom management after using these particular strategies? And finally, academic performance. Again, using strategies from these particular chapters, chapters 2, 6, 7, and 8, how could it have affected this child's academic performance? So the So this particular section here, so each of these strategies, just the strategies alone, are going to be a minimum of 15 pages. In addition, you also have that student historical information and the teacher historical information. So after you've completed, or even once you've gotten a good idea of what, like the outline of your project, there's going to be a reflection and exchange of your story, of your student that you're discussing. And you're going to do this in a final Zoom conference meeting. So your same group members that you had earlier in the semester, this is the group who you're going to meet with again. You're going to create a digital presentation containing no more than 5 slides. Email them to all of your group members prior to your conference meeting, your Zoom conference, and you're going to share your story. Share why you selected this particular student. Give that historical information about your student so that it can have a good context of who this student is, and describe the strategy that you believe would have been the most successful in reaching this student. Talk about the concepts, provide context, reflect on how family, cultural, and community needs might impact the strategy. And then the most compelling lesson you've learned from the semester project. So this is going to be all included in your student project. And so here are the instructions for it. The rubric aligns very much with the instructions, so you can go over that rubric. Here's the template if you need it broken down, because it is a lot of information. So if you want to use this to kind of help guide you, this is all of So these are all of the requirements, from personal information to, the teacher historical information, to student, to rationale for selecting this student, personal contact, and in your action plan, and then finally your reflection. This could be a good checklist for you to use to help you as you're writing this up. And so here's your digital presentation that you're going to do. You're going to meet with your same group members. You're going to share your presentation with them. And in this particular submission box, you're going to upload your digital presentation and your Zoom conference meeting. So remember, you're going to upload it to the YouTube first and then copy and paste it to Blackboard. Copy and paste that YouTube link to Blackboard. Here's your student intervention project that's going to be due August 11th, and finally the course evaluation. I hope that this course was beneficial to you. I hope that you've enjoyed the course. I'm really excited to work with you all this semester, and please let me know if I can help in any way.